Hey guys, it's Jason with Cinelinks.com, and I'm talking to Mr. Joel Hopkins with the upcoming film The Love Punch. Well, not upcoming because we've already gotten to see this at the Toronto International Film Festival. Mr. Hopkins, how are you today, sir?
Good, thanks. Good to speak to you.
Now, I actually heard about your film at the 2013 Toronto Film Festival, and I was like, oh, I didn't get to see it, and then here's the benefit. I get to interview you, and I got to take a look at the movie.
Brilliant, yeah. No, we've been waiting very patiently to come out. Finally, it's our turn. So no, I'm excited for everyone to see it. Finally.
Yes. Well, we got a date of May 23rd. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Right around the corner. Now, your previous film, you've done Jump Tomorrow, and Last Chance Harvey. Now, on Last Chance Harvey, you got to work with Miss Emma Thompson, who is in this film, and I've heard you guys had quite the relationship going forth with this movie.
So I've done one other film with Emma, Last Chance Harvey, and that went well. And she's so brilliant. I would do anything to work with her again. Anyway, she seemed to like me and like working with me. So we sort of sat down and tried to think up something else to do together. And I think we both wanted to do something a bit more. I guess more playful than Last Chance Harvey. So this is our effort.
Well, this is definitely a great romantic comedy with Pierce Brosnan, Emma Thompson. I loved, by the way, Timothy Spall and Celia Emery. I loved their characters in the movie.
Okay.
And I remember that Emma and Celia actually worked on Nanny McPhee together. So
that's right. I didn't know that when I first cast Celia, but. Celia says Emma gave her one of her favourite roles in Nanny McPhee, so that was nice. So they had that immediate sort of rapport, which I wanted. I wanted the four of them to feel like good old friends, and I think that works.
And I really liked the interaction between all four of the characters in the movie, just because they just seemed to really get along well, and that really showed with the film.
Yeah, no, we did the first day we were shooting, we did a reading, or the day before, I guess, we did a read through, and that was the first time I got them all together, all those four. And after the reading, I sent them out for a sort of a boozy lunch. Go and have a nice lunch with a good glass of wine or whatever. And they had a great lunch, and I think the next day we were filming, and I think it was a really nice way for them to sort of get to know each other and sort of get that that rapport going and that sense that these guys have been buddies for a long time. So I'm really pleased with the casting and the sort of dynamics between the actors.
Now, for those that haven't seen the film, it is a romantic comedy. However, it's done from the perspective of a couple that's divorced. They've kind of got the empty nest syndrome going, and they have their annoying friends who want them to get back together, of course. But Pierce plays the character Richard, who's been just robbed and bamboozled, and now he's teaming with his ex-wife to go on a little bit of a jewel heist.
Yeah, no, it's I'm sort of playing up the fact that he was Bond. He's the sort of anti-Bond. He's the suburban, sawback, cautious driver Bond. And I was actually quite nervous when I sent him the script that he would, because we're definitely sort of making fun of the fact that he was once Bond, and I was worried he would find it sort of a cheap shot, and he didn't. He got what we were trying to do and went with it. But I don't know if you call them, in England we call these sort of movies a romp, a sort of romantic romp. So it's got romance, it's got action, and it's got comedy, and it's like I guess a romantic caper, and a lot of fun, hopefully.
And Emma Thompson's character Kate just seems to be the instigator for a lot of the things in this film, and I love her character in this one.
She's great in it. I mean, I think because she has this image, Emma Thompson, Miss sort of perfect or whatever, or because she's so sort of successful not only at acting but writing. I think a lot of people see her as being sort of perfect in a way, and so the idea was to sort of throw throw lots of things at her and sort of watch her sort of cope in a way. And she actually, she loved all the sort of action stuff in the movie, and got a real taste of it, and sort of said, I want to do an action, full on action movie. This is giving me a taster. But I have to say, just sort of going back to the dynamics, what I'm so happy about is her and Pierce, because that was really the initial idea, was what it'd be like to put those two in a movie together and have them play a couple, and I think they feel like a sort of classic film couple, sort of, dare I say it, sort of Cary Grant, Audrey Hepburn. They've got a really lovely sort of rapport going, and it's got a good sizzle to it, I think.
I love the way they work together on screen, but also from somebody that saw the film, I really loved all the locations in the film. What was it like scouting? I love when they actually go to Cannes. That's something that pops for me for films. When you were scouting out these locations, what was speaking to you when you were looking for them, or just curious about?
Well, it's always wherever there was a good fish restaurant. That's not true, not at all. No, we ain't. Well, I'm quite proud because the film looks quite sort of big and sort of glamorous, and actually we did it on a bit of a shoestring. And for instance, we only could film down in the south of France for a week, and so we had to sort of run around for a week getting all the sort of exteriors, and then shooting all the exteriors somewhere else. So I'm very pleased that the film, I think, has quite a sort of fun and glamorous look. And no, it was there are worse things to do than be driving around the south of France looking for good locations. I'll admit that.
It's so grueling.
But the other thing was we had to shoot the whole film in France for sort of budgetary reasons. So I had to find sort of suburban England, suburban London, somewhere around Paris, basically. And I'm very proud because I found a sort of town built near Euro Disney. They built a sort of town in a sort of mock Tudor style, which is a sort of typical style here we have in England. And anyway, it was perfect. And so we ended up shooting all the English stuff there. So yeah.
Well, no, that was one of my favorite parts. Now, as the writer and director of this film, what do you want? What do you want audiences to take away from your film after watching it? Do you just, because it seems like you just want everybody to have a really good time and just enjoy a film?
Yeah, no, I really, really do. I think I think it's the kind of movie where you've got to slightly hang your the more cynical side of you, kind of leave that at the door and just go with it. And it sort of harks back to sort of, for me anyway, films I saw as a kid like The Pink Panther, and there's a wonderful film with Peter Sellers, The Party. The movie's completely absurd, and if you sort of look at it with a sort of magnifying glass, you go, well, they couldn't really do that, and they couldn't really do that. But that's not the point. You're sort of missing the point. I think if you get caught up in sort of, too caught up in the reality, then it's not going to work for you. You kind of have to go with it, and then it's a really pleasurable ride in the company of some great actors doing great work, I think.
Well, I have to agree with you on all those points. I enjoyed the movie, and I can't wait for the release so everyone over here can actually enjoy The Love Punch.
Yeah, no, brilliant.
And great, and as a fan of the movie, great work, and I hope to see more of your work very soon.
Brilliant. Thanks, Jason.
Well, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Mr. Joel Hopkins. Go check out The Love Punch with Pierce Brosnan and Emma Thompson.